Hi, I'm Tina Dils, horses of course, collectibles and antiques. I've been an antique dealer about 18 years now, and I want to share my passion with you. There's a couple different things I'd like to do. I'd like to educate, instruct, and inform to help you get some fabulous finds. When you're in an antique store shopping, how do you know what is what? How do you know unless the tag on it says? Well, if you look at some pottery here, we see a couple of different large serving dishes. They look pretty similar, but if you look up close, there's some detail. So this piece has a very hard-edged, hand-painted edge, while this piece has a much more loose airbrushed edge. The loose airbrush style was used by Brock and Metlocks. This hard hand-painted edge was mainly used by Hagen Renaker. So by using these little clues, you can figure out who made some of these pieces. Then there's a couple of shadow boxes over here. Obviously different in construction, manufacture, and painting. This one, pretty simple. It's got some scalloping on the edges and just a wash glaze. No mark on the back. Not very interesting. Next one, again, pretty similar construction, very simple lines, airbrushed edge, no mark on the back. This piece is a lot more interesting for pottery. It's wrapped around, it's three-dimensional with the scalloping on the inside, and again the hand hard painted edge. When I saw this piece in a case, it was marked Clemenson's. Turn it around, it's actually Hagen Renaker. By learning these signs and symbols, you can figure out who made something, even if the manufacturer isn't on the price tag or label. When you're out shopping looking at smalls, you can find a lot of jewelry. How do you know what's quality jewelry and what's not so high quality? Well, here's a couple of pins. An interesting situation. When you actually look at the construction of them, this piece is a lot more simple with a lot less expensive crystals. It's a simple single piece metal back with some crystals glued to the front. We look at this piece, and it's obviously a much more complex manufacture with brilliant crystals and some pretty complex metalwork. If we flip it around on the back, it's actually marked Eisenberg, which is a very high quality costume jewelry. Pro tip, you might want to bring along a jeweler's loupe or a small magnifying glass for the teeny tiny marks on some of these pieces. I also like to help inform. There's always new information coming out, even about these older pieces. So we see two horses here that look pretty darn similar. Same mold, same color. This one is actually what's called a base coat jockey. He actually has a white layer of paint down underneath his chestnut. We originally thought this was due to high prices during the oil crisis era, when Breyer would take the horses that were culls and rejects and regrind them. Lately, we've started to look at some of the pieces a little more closely, and we've discovered that underneath they may have actually been a slow-moving, not so popular color, such as a decorator, that Breyer pulled when they weren't selling, repainted with this white base coat, and then produced a different piece. So, this jockey is worth quite a bit more, and if you look closely and find out he's a decorator, you may have a true treasure on your hands. So in summary, when you're going through antique stores, there's a wide variety of things to look at and see. I want to help you get those fabulous finds. I want to excite you, educate you, instruct, and inform to help you when you're out looking and determining what you're actually looking at. So if you look at a place, a table of small items, you can say, oh look, there's some K. Finch. That is a fabulous find.